Reflection 1. The Four Worldviews. Quote, "Your worldview is not what you look at. It is what you look out from or look through." End quote. During our formative years, each of us has unique experiences that shape not only what we see in the world around us, but also how we see reality. Our parents, our friends, our religious community, and our society all help to provide boundaries so that we can grow, develop, and make sense of our world. But over time, as we mature and experience life in new ways, our original worldview is challenged. This can be painful, and if we've over-identified with our religious community and local cultural experiences, we can feel trapped. If I continue to see the world through these lenses, I'll stagnate. But if I move on, I'll feel like I'm leaving my close friends, my church community, or even my family for good. This binary, in or out approach is common the first time our worldview is challenged. As we begin to reflect on Father Richard's book, The Universal Christ, it's important to take some time to explore the lenses that we use to perceive reality. Neuroscientific research shows us that we simply do not have the processing capacity through our five senses and our brain to take in all the data that is available to us each moment of our day. So we reduce our moment-by-moment experiences to a manageable level. For example, we avoid thinking about how some of our economic pursuits are damaging our environment, or we generalize that certain politicians are always wrong, to the point where we can't hear them when they say something right. When groups agree upon these pictures of reality, very powerful worldviews ensue. In The Universal Christ, Father Richard outlines the four worldviews through which we engage with life, faith, and spirituality at different points in our journeys. "There are good things about all four of them," he wrote, "and none of them is completely wrong or completely right, but one of them is by far the most helpful." 1. Quote, "Those who hold the material worldview believe that the outer, visible universe is the ultimate and real world. People of this worldview have given us science, engineering, medicine, and much of what we now call civilization. A material worldview tends to create highly consumer-oriented and competitive cultures, which are often preoccupied with scarcity, since material goods are always limited." End quote. 2. Quote, "The spiritual worldview characterizes many forms of religion and some idealistic philosophies that recognize the primacy and finality of spirit, consciousness, the invisible world behind all manifestations. But taken too far, it can become ethereal and disembodied, disregarding ordinary human needs and denying the need for good psychology, anthropology, or societal issues of peace and justice. The spiritual worldview, taken too seriously, has little concern for the earth, the neighbor, or justice, because it considers this world largely as an illusion." End quote. 3. Quote, "Those holding the priestly worldview are generally sophisticated, trained, and experienced people that feel their job is to help us put matter and spirit together. They are the holders of the law, the scriptures, and the rituals. They include gurus, ministers, therapists, and sacred communities. People of the priestly worldview help us make good connections that are not always obvious between the material and spiritual worlds. This view assumes that the two worlds are actually separate and need someone to bind them back together. It describes what most of us think of as organized religion and much of the self-help world." End quote. 4. Quote, "The incarnational worldview is one in which matter and spirit are understood to have never been separate. Matter and spirit reveal and manifest each other. This view relies more on awakening than joining, more on seeing than obeying, more on growth in consciousness and love than on clergy, experts, morality, scriptures, or rituals. The code word I am using in this entire book for this worldview is simply Christ.